Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder says this time Tyson Fury ain't getting up after he knocks him out. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang, notification gang. Please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link. It does help the channel when you guys use that. It's in the description box of all my videos. Right now, you can get ESPN Plus. They got 30 for 30. They got original docs. They got podcast shows. They got, UFC pay-per-views and Top Rank. And make sure you grab it for the 2020. You can get the bundle, ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps for one price, $12.99. Click that link. Bundle it up. I have all three. Let's get it. Deontay Wilder. Check out the media call that I did. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. If you like, I do daily content. And Deontay Wilder on his verified page, he posted this. It's a quote that he said. It says, "This time he's not getting up. I promise you that." Wilder Fury 2 Bomb Squad. And look at I Am Loaded Lux. He commented, this was a nasty shot, very nasty shot. My thoughts, very simple. I'm favoring Wilder here. I think Wilder, I don't even know how the sports, I think it'll change during the fight week or whatever, closer to the fight, but I don't see how Tyson Fury is the favorite. Some people are saying 10 rounds to 2, all this nonsense. Listen, they posted the full fight on YouTube. Legal, it's on Premier Boxing Champion. And if you rewatch the fight, I don't see what people who are claiming that Tyson Fury schooled Wilder. I think people were going off of the adrenaline and the emotion of the sport of boxing. But I don't really think Tyson Fury did as grand as people thought. I thought he had a solid game plan, but, people were literally comparing his performance to Mayweather and stuff like that. Mayweather don't look like that, bro. First of all, Mayweather don't get knocked on his ass in his fights, right? He doesn't get dropped twice in fights where he's putting on masterclass boxing, And to prove my point of what I'm saying is Tyson Fury has made a lot of changes, avoided the immediate rematch, and made changes with his cut man, changes with his training team. And now he has 2 new trainers. Before he was training with Abel Sanchez, Freddie Roach, Ben Davison. Now he doesn't have any of them, and he's using Emmanuel Stewart's nephew. He's not using Ben Davison. He's using Andy Lee as well. He's using the famed Stitch Duran instead of the cut man who helped him in the Otto Violin fight. I don't believe what was being said. I think the worst thing that Top Rank and Tyson Fury did was not fight Wilder straight away. I think had they fought Wilder straight away, that would have been the better chance to beat him. You let Wilder gain momentum, gain confidence, set the record straight, put the Brazil fight to bed. Literally, he put him to bed in 1 round, and you let him gain too much confidence. Now he's really Thanos. He's Black Thanos, because the Luis Ortiz had to be a thorn in his backside because people were saying that he cheated and the doctors gave Wilder extra time to recover like Wolverine, and he came back and he did it again. This is the first fight with Luis Ortiz. People said that Luis Ortiz was the boogeyman, and I still think he is the boogeyman, just not to Wilder, right? Wilder went through him twice. You gave Ortiz the more tactical, technical, more experienced amateur, the southpaw. A lot of guys don't like fighting southpaws. You gave him another chance to get right. And then if you look at Luis Ortiz, when he teamed up with Larry Wade, UNLV coach, right? He was in monster shape. He was in crazy shape, and he was ready to go, and he still lost. He still lost despite all of his efforts. He had a great game plan, great trainer, and you got to give him credit for that. You got to give him credit. But Luis Ortiz is definitely look at him. Look how big he is, bro. And he's gifted. He was been in shape and he was motivated for the fight. It still came up short. And that's why you see to this day, you don't see nobody giving the man an opportunity except for Deontay Wilder. So I really feel the timing and everything is favoring. He just met the Pope. He's the ambassador for peace. They should have fought him straight away, because then you would have created a situation where Wilder wanted the immediate rematch. Tyson Fury's side didn't. Wilder wanted the rematch, so you could have used that against him, because he would have been his opportunity to learn. He would have had to learn from the first fight from December to May, and there's only so much you can learn. But he's had over a year. He's had another pay-per-view. He's had another grudge match, you know, with Dominic Brazil. Even though that was their first fight, they didn't like each other. So it was kind of like a grudge match, because there was rumors about what took place and transpired in the hotel room, you know, when he fought Gerald Washington and Dominic Brazil was on the undercard, right, against that African dude. So he took care of business there. And then Luis Ortiz, I think the man is a monster now. I think he knows he looked like Bane right here. I think he truly knows his calling, and he knows. It's hard to explain, but when you prove it to yourself that you could do it, like, you know you could do it, but when you actually accomplish it, that's a great feeling. And I think that's where Wilder is. I don't think he ever doubted himself or his power, you know, self-belief, but he keeps proving it. So you believe your own legend. I don't think he's underestimating Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is likely to outweigh him. Tyson Fury has the reach advantage, the height advantage. So I don't think he's underestimating the man. I think he's in the zone. I think he's taking it serious. And what makes me even more confident in picking Wilder is they're saying Wilder had a broken hand in camp for the first fight. So on top of it being his first pay-per-view and looking to impress and, you know, getting more experience under his belt, he sounds healthy. He sounded extremely confident on the media day call. I posted that video, so make sure you subscribe. Check that on the channel. You know, just peruse through it or type Deontay Wilder Boxing Ego in your search engine on YouTube. It should come up. I just think it's his time. He says Tyson Fury's not getting up. You know, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, but we know this should have been a knockout. It's just, the more I thought of it, the more I realized it should have been a knockout. They had someone on the sideline, you know, the official counter, not Jack Reese, but someone in the ringside, and she was like 3, 4, and then you look at Jack Reese's count in unison with that, and Tyson Fury is still getting up as he's counting 9 and 10. Fights get waved off for that, because you're not up. You only have 10 seconds to get up. You can't still be like getting yourself up. So it was kind of like Jack Reese messed it up with his, like, because he was, the emotions behind it, him being a human messed it up, you know, because you're like, oh man, this is crazy. It was a fun fight. I've been enjoying officiating this, and this guy rides for the dead, so let's just see what happens. But in boxing, it's a rule set. Your job isn't to do all that. Your job is to protect the fighter. And when a guy is still scrambling to get up at the count of 10, then he really gets in 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, you know, that fighter would be ruled out, as you're not able to continue. I've seen guys who were never unconscious but get dropped hard, and then they try to take a little bit extra time, and then they get up at like 8.5, 9, 9.5, and then the ref is like, nah, because they waited way too long. You know, they waited that little extra, you know, time, and then the ref is like, nah, you must not be good if you waited to the last time and then you try to jump up. You know, I wish I could think of a fight where this happened, but I know if I jog my memory, I could think of a fight where this exact thing happened. But you know, even the Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz, Joshua just looked out of it and that fight was stopped. So how did Tyson Fury fight not get stopped? You know, Andy Ruiz, Joshua, he just looked dazed, and you know, he was still standing up and stuff like that. but his body language was horrible, and he was vertical, he was standing and stuff like that. So you mean to tell me when Tyson Fury's like getting up and it's like 9.5, and he's getting up and it really is a 10 count, and he's still like halfway getting up, and the ref hasn't even said, oh, you know, step this way, put your gloves up. And, you know, it's just a long count. It is what it is, bro. You know, I've seen all kinds of studies and people starting their own timers and all. Man, it was a long count. The bottom line. Beyond that, like I've said before, if you see someone get hit with a two-piece, a notorious puncher, it don't matter what they did for the first 11 rounds. First of all, Tyson Fury didn't do all that in the first 11 rounds anyway, you know. But beyond all that, his eyes are rolling in your head. Why would you even be administering a count? You don't really see that. You didn't see Kenny Bayless start counting and get on the ground and count for Amir Khan when Canelo knocked him out, because it's very apparent. You view the situation and analyze and interpret what's there, and you see he's unconscious. So you take the mouthpiece out, maybe help him breathe, you know, get the doctors around, and that's it. But that Wilder was robbed of that opportunity. So now, you know, it's fun. It's fun because it was like a cinematic thing. I was there, so, you know, I definitely had fun with this fight. Credit to Fury for getting up, but I just feel like Wilder is his time now. And the fact that Wilder went through that, see, you can't blame Wilder. Wilder knows he has incredible power, so he's dancing and shit and burning energy. The adrenaline pretty much had left his body because he thought it was over, because he's seen this same exact moment in 39, 40 fights or whatever pre Tyson Fury. So I don't blame Wilder for thinking it's over, but knowing this guy somehow rose from the dead, this whole Undertaker stuff, he's going to be a lot more calculated, because even like, just wait for the fight, February 22nd, man. I feel like it's, if Wilder gets Tyson Fury hurt at all, I don't see how he's not going to finish him, because to Tyson Fury's credit, in the first fight, Wilder had some rounds where he was looking wild and kind of sloppy and getting outboxed in the midpoint, right? Nothing too severe, but, you know, he wasn't looking as sharp and switched on as we've seen Wilder. However, he put it together in the 9th or whenever, when he got the first knockdown, and in the 12th he found something big, right? And then Tyson Fury, it was still a 10-8 round because Tyson Fury was dropped, and that was the only knockdowns in the fight were from Wilder, so that's easy to score. But the point I'm making is this: Tyson Fury fought pretty well considering being dropped, you know, horrifically for that last whatever amount of time was left. Wilder is not going to make this same mistake, because he got hit a couple of times with some punches from Tyson Fury, just kind of underestimating and going for the finish. Like, he got stung with a couple of shots, you know, nothing too severe, but it was late in the fight. Now that you know that Tyson Fury, you dropped him and he miraculously got up, I feel like Wilder is going to take his time with it, and he's going to be a lot more precautious about how he goes about it, a lot more creative. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna, it's like if you went to the mall and somebody said, hey, I got these Jordans, and then you bought the Jordans, and then you come back and find out they were some counterfeit fake Jordans from the Philippines. If you see that same person and they trying to sell you something else, then you already know the drill. You already know at that point that last time you sold me a lemon, you sold me some, you know, some sweatshop Jordans or whatever, and these was knockoffs. So you're not going to fall for the okie doke. You're not going to fall for the same trick twice. And that's what I feel. So Tyson Fury is going to have to stay out of danger for 12 rounds against a guy who has all-time confidence. Plus, he just got a cut in his last fight that, if that opens, you know, I see it being more damaging, because you can't fight a guy like Wilder with blood dripping in your eye and stuff like that. And Tyson Fury was trying to fight on the inside, and he was leaning on the shorter auto violin. Wilder's not that person. You're not going to be able to just lean on Wilder with that type of punching power and put your weight on him, you know, just like Klitschko, who does that too. Klitschko was not able to do that with Tyson Fury. These guys are too big. And Wilder's not only too big, but he's too strong, you know, and he's athletic. So I just think overall, all in all, it's just going to be a different fight. Look at his face. He just looks like it's over. You know, the adrenaline's left his body. He's not even thinking there's a way that this man's going to get back up some kind of way. But again, that's like lightning striking 2 times in the same spot. To me, it's unlikely. I just feel like, how's Tyson Fury going to go 12 whole rounds of masterful boxing, not get in danger, and then if he gets in danger, you know, Wilder not be able to finish him? I don't see it. Plus, you got to account for this that a lot of people aren't talking about. People, you can say whatever the hell you want about Tyson Fury got up in the 12th round. Yes, it's Undertaker is incredible. However, he still went through a knockout. He still went through the actual process of being knocked out. You don't just go to cryotherapy and that's all of a sudden removed from your brain and your neurological system. You know what I'm saying? That like it happened to you. It was you were affected by it. Like, for example, my dad was in a car accident way back when he was a teenager, but he still had problems with his back and like little soreness from that car accident. That's how you have to look at a knockout. People who get in car accidents, yeah, you overcame the car accident, you know what I'm saying? But you could still have lingering effects from that. Tyson Fury is a little bit over a year removed from a devastating knockout, and he got right back in the mix. Like he got active right away. He didn't do what you were supposed to do. When you take a knockout like that, despite the fact that he wasn't knocked out and it went the distance, you know, because he got back up some kind of way with the long count, he still was knocked out. The only difference, just hear what I'm saying, the only difference between Tyson Fury being actually having a knockout on his record is Jack Reese's executive discretion, his executive decision, and his thought. That could have easily been a knockout, and he went in, and you wouldn't be able to argue that it was a bad knockout or a bad stoppage. You get what I'm saying? So you still were disconnected. You still went through the process. You can't just erase that, you know? And then, like I said, you're supposed to rest. Tyson Fury didn't rest. Tyson Fury fought in May and then September. And then on top of that, his September fight was a tough fight. And then he jumped into wrestling. So I don't feel like Tyson Fury has given himself adequate rest either. So I really think this is Wilder's time. I think Wilder has so many things he can sharpen and correct and approach this fight, you know, the same but slightly different. Like not rushing his shots, learning from the first fight, go to his body more, shoot the uppercut, more combination work. You know, you got to mask and disguise the right hand, because right now his right hand is super legendary, you know, is legendary in the game. So he's gonna have to find creative ways to get it off, because people are like scared of it and looking to get around it. So maybe introduce more meaningful punches, utilizing your left hand, like, because he has power in his left hand too. So I just feel like so many little nuanced things he could do. Also come in a little bit heavier. Wilder was super light for the Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury fights. I think if he just comes in not too heavy, not like what Joshua weighs 260 or nothing, but just comes in under 225 but over 215, that's the sweet spot. I think 217, 219, 222, anything like that, bro, he's in the sweet spot. It's his time to this day. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.